I'm really on my networking shit this week. I just happened to have a bunch of different meetings scheduled like on the same weekend and like the days around it. So I'm gassing myself up. I'm going to be meeting a lot of new people. I had 2 new venues reach out to me asking about hosting Material Girls clubs there. So I visited one on Friday and I'm having a meeting with another one today. Another venue offer actually in my emails that I need to get back to. And I was just like thinking about this and kind of like laughing because I remember last year I was working so hard to get venues to like get back to me, to take what I do seriously, to want to like host the stuff that I do in their space. And I'm such a control freak. I feel like sometimes the universe sends me these signs that are just like, you can't control it. Like you can't make this happen when you want it to happen. Because I really struggled to like find venues who wanted to work with me last year. I still made it work, busted my ass and did like 30 events last year. Felt like I was kind of pulling teeth with every single one of them, making it work. And then this year I pulled back a bit. I was like, I'm gonna keep doing the monthly meetups, but I feel like I did enough events last year to kind of establish what Material Girls is and to build a really strong kind of like portfolio of different things that we can do to show people. And it also just like wasn't sustainable to be doing as many events as I was doing. And as soon as I took that back seat, now I'm getting all these emails about people who want to host events. In-person community is really important to me, so I'm going to keep doing some events, but I also want to focus on having a really cool offering for people who aren't in London and still want to engage with Material Girls. But that's what's going through my head as I'm getting a bunch of in-person event opportunities. Same thing happened with the Barbican, which is a large cultural center in London. I wanted to work with them so badly last year and I emailed so many people on their team, like any email that I could find, because specifically last year they were running an exhibition about textile art. And I was like, let's collaborate on an event. Let's do something with your young Barbican members. I never heard back, which isn't surprising. Like these large institutions and museums and stuff like obviously get a ton of outreach. I wasn't necessarily expecting it, but what happens as soon as I have kind of like let that idea go, they reach out to me and say, we'd like to do an event together. And it's completely unrelated to anything that I sent. Like it wasn't from anyone who I tried to contact. It was like a completely separate thing that happened as soon as I unclenched. So I don't know what I'm supposed to take from that. I don't know if other people can sense that my vibe has gotten less uptight and now they want to work with me. But I guess that's just one of those funny life things. So anyway, I'm meeting with a few venues. We'll see how those go. This weekend, I also went to a maker facilitator breakfast at the Crafts Council. The Crafts Council is this like governing body in the UK that has public funding that supports people in craft. I put on a little networking morning for people who facilitate workshops. So I signed up to that with Owana of Artisan and we went together and it was really cute. It was like probably 10-ish people, all women, mostly like similar age to us. So it's just cool to see like what other people are doing. Anyone who works in craft is automatically like a nice person. Like I've never met a weirdo in craft, so it's always just nice to like build community with people like that. They keep doing those more often because it was obviously a great networking event, but also just kind of like fills me up to be around other people who are excited about craft and like getting people together to do craft. Tonight I'm going to a private view at Hayward Gallery, which is at South Bank Centre, another big cultural institution in London. Private views are basically like opening nights of exhibitions, so I was super excited to be invited to this. And so some clips, I've been excited about this exhibition for a while. Grace and I are probably still going to go again after this because I want to go with her and we love going to all the art exhibitions we can find together. I think this one will be really cool and perhaps another networking event. You never know who you're going to meet. It's me booked and busy, having a silly time and trying to not take myself so seriously because it all works out. I work hard. I'm proud of myself for working hard last year and I guess putting enough out there that now this year people see what's going on and want to be part of it. It's magazine release week, which means I get a bunch of mail so that I can send you a bunch of mail. I came in to a pallet full of boxes that I need to open up. I don't think I've ever had this many simultaneous deliveries. I know that some of this is magazine, which is exciting because then I can start packing envelopes and sending that out. Oh, boring. This is just pink envelopes. This is what I have sent the materialgirls.com, like the old subscription that was paid quarterly, magazines in, and this is going to be the last shipment of that, so I just needed some more magazines to send those out, let people know that they need to switch on over, come have fun on Material Girls World. We have much more fun envelopes over there. So for example, welcome pack envelopes come in these. This is one that just got shipped back to me. Unfortunately, I need to make sure that someone has the correct address and try to resend it out, but cute. And something that I brought with me that I got a few days ago is the new envelope for this Q1 issue. Obviously Valentine's themed, look how cute that is. So I did this little illustration, then laid it out on checkerboard. So this is what the Q1 issue will be coming out in. Along with all the stuff here, but I'll have fun organizing it after I get it all out. Oh, I forgot this was coming. These are old Q4 issues. There was a misprint. My printers did the margins incorrectly on a few of them from my last shipment, so I asked them to replace them. And I believe, because they're so damn heavy, these next to our new issue. Oh my gosh, here she is. Okay, cover reveal. This is the Q1 issue of Material Girls magazine, my first time seeing it. Every time I get the print version of stuff, I just feel like it immediately looks so much cooler like as print media. I'll give you a little flip through just randomly of what we've got going on in here. Lots of good stuff. We'll chat about that more later. Glad those are looking good though, because every time I send them to print, it feels so high stakes. I'm like, what if I wrote something wrong in the pattern and now it's like forever in print, you know? This is so exciting. This is major. Okay, so Craft Club is an Australian brand run by a lovely girl named Nikisa. Known about for a while. We've like met together before, chatted about being like women running craft businesses. So she's super sweet and wanted to send some embroidery kits for the next Material Girls Club, which is such a kind gift, like a whole embroidery kit to give out to everyone. Gosh, cool. It looks like there's a few different ones in here. So this is like a floral sampler, magical mushroom, moth. That is so, so kind. I'm gonna be very excited to tell people that this is coming and to bring those next week. One more big guy, and it's kind of rattling around, so I don't know what it's gonna look like in here. These should both be the same thing because I got 2 of them. It's supposed to be pink, doesn't look pink. And it being pink was kind of a main reason I chose to look, oh, thank God. It's pink. Okay, so I got 2 of these button makers because, oh my God. Doing a workshop at the Barbican, which is really exciting. It's a few weeks from now, and it's going to be a like custom rosette badge making workshop. So we're gonna use these button presses so that people can design what they want to be on their button, and it'll like cover it in nice plastic and put a pin on the back of it. Very nice. It does all different sizes too. We're only gonna use one for this workshop, but in the future I think it'll be super cool to have for lots of different things. And like we did at the Material Girls World launch party, I'm gonna have different laces and ribbons all put out so people can hot glue stuff around. Custom button to make a rosette. I think this is going to be super fun because the rosettes were very fun and girly and just like a good vibe at the party. But everyone just got the same like MG World logo badge, which is cute for that. But for this, I think it'll be fun to let people kind of like express themselves, put a word on it, like put their name, do a little collage, make their own button. Like it'll be a complete DIY from beginning to end. So I'm very excited for that. I think I have some more work to do with like setting these up and getting all of these pieces in there. These are like the button backs. It'll be a project for a different day. For now, the focus is on shipping out the next issue. So I have some welcome packs to ship out that I'm going to ship out ASAP because I want people to get them like maybe just a few days before they get their Q1 issue if they just signed up recently. Shipping the magazines has really been like a process this time. So I was just at the post office getting all the postage that I needed, and I needed so many stamps that I broke the postage machine and I had to go to the counter and they like got me the postage that I needed, but sorry to their machine. I should be going, maybe not trying to get all of it at once. So I have the postage that I need. I have the envelopes that I need. Now I have the magazines. Oh, and I got these a few days ago. Let me show you. This is going to be a part of the Snail Mail Girl packs. Craft Bingo, isn't that cute? So it comes blank, and then on the back there's some ideas of stuff you could put in it, but the idea is that you'll put stuff that you want to do throughout 2025 on here, and you can like play Craft Bingo with yourself, cross things off when you've done them. So it might be like, I want to make this specific pattern, or I want to try this yarn, or I want to challenge myself to go to a craft club, or design a pattern, or whatever, and you'd put it in each of these boxes to make your own little custom crafty bingo, and you can cross them off as you go, try to get bingo across, down, whatever, or black out. So I have this, that's ready to go in the packs. I don't have is the rosette stickers that I made. I ordered them a while ago, and I've been having some issues with them getting, just like past stickers that I made, getting randomly lost in the mail. Like fingers crossed that they aren't lost, because I can still like see them moving around, but they paid for expedited shipping and they did not get here on the end of the day that they were supposed to get here. They were supposed to like go to my address, and then I got notified that they were going to be shipped to a pickup location instead. So like something funky is going on. The date that they're meant to be delivered keeps changing. That's literally the last thing I need. Otherwise, I'd be ready to ship this stuff out. So I need to track that down because I want to get these to people. I'm also not going to send them without the stickers because I know people are like looking forward to the stickers specifically. Okay, let's chat about the new issue of Material Girls. I wanted to give a better walkthrough because if you're watching this, it is out now. This is the first issue of 2025, Q1. It's the 11th issue overall, and it was super fun to make. With each one that I make, obviously I'm proud of it, and it's really exciting to see like all the work come together and be able to like hold it and just like flip through the whole thing. I feel like this is the first time where I just feel very like stable and not like, oh, this is like a new, like now the best thing I've ever made. It's just like, okay, I'm adding this to the library of like other cool things, like a strong body of work. I just feel really like good about it. I feel like the tone of voice, the vibe and the style of the magazine has just really like settled into itself, and I'm excited to add this one to it. So you can see by the cover that one of the patterns is a crochet tabby glove. I have a sample here that was in my flat from taking pictures, so I can show you. The original tabby glove pattern came out about 2 years ago, and it was knit. I got a bunch of requests from people who crochet that were like, I would really like a crochet version of this, and I finally got around to doing it. But of course, when I went about it, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be as good, because it was originally made to have like knit shaping and stuff like that. I actually really like it because crochet makes a bit like thicker of a fabric, right? So this feels like a very like chunky, nice mitten. I think it's quite cute. This is holding 2 strands of Drops Melody, which isn't a mohair yarn, but it kind of like has the fuzziness and behaves like a mohair yarn. The fuzziness just gives it the kind of like plushiness that I wanted, so that's the yarn that I would recommend to use if you're looking for some. But this pattern is out now. The written pattern is in the magazine, and there are video tutorials as well. The knitting pattern is this little bow. I'm like getting it set here because it has a little bow on top of the bow. So my idea with this, I was thinking about rosettes, as I always am. How fun it is to just have like something to pin on. I was like, let's do it with a bow. So this is the bow brooch. And the idea is that it's just this little bow that you could add a pin to the back and put it anywhere. You could put it on clothing, put it on a bag. For the layout in the magazine, I edited it onto a bunch of different stuff, but it's just a classic bow pattern, you know? Stick it to anything. And it's super easy to make. You just make one strip of fabric, and then the video tutorial shows you how to fold it up and just stitch everything to the back of it. You can add a little bow to the front or have the ties come off the back if you don't want that extra layer there. Sewing pattern I showed making in my last vlog, I think, and it's at the studio, so I don't have it. But the girl dinner placemat, and it's just this cute checkerboard placemat with a ruffle all around it. Can't go wrong. I just feel like that would be so cute on any little tablescape, and it's super easy to make. So all of those are patterns for you to download in the magazine, and they all have video tutorials as well, so I'll link all that below. Other things we've got going on in here. Obviously a Meet the Material Girl Loopy Studio this time. I got so many requests to interview her, and she'd been on my list for a while too, so I'm glad like everyone is super excited to meet Evia. She gave a really cool interview. She talks about being a STEM student and how that inspires some of her like patterning. So super interesting. And I added a new little column this time around called What Tabs Do You Have Open? And it's just kind of trying to get into these creatives' heads about like, what are they listening to? What are they looking to? Like, what's in their shopping cart right now? Like, I feel like we all have tabs open on our computers that are like things we're thinking about or researching or like wanting to come back to often. And she gave some really cool ones in here. So I'm excited to like have this as an example and keep encouraging people to add this to their interviews. I wrote a little blurb about craft being political and put it alongside some of my favorite craft politics book recommendations, because I posted a video at the end of the year, like just flipping through all the craft politics books that I read in 2024, and it went really far. I got a bunch of comments. I got messages from people being like, I love this, like so excited to add these book recommendations, like how do I learn more about these things? Do you have any other resources? Or flipping like, I totally agree, like craft is political, but like what are we meant to do with that? So I wanted to start a little column to talk about that in the magazine. So this time around it's book recommendations. In the future I think I could do like podcast recommendations, documentaries, things like that. I'm going to be crowdsourcing the resource list, obviously, because I don't know about every cool thing that's happening in craft politics. So on the Material Girls Instagram, I might be putting out like call outs for what are some cool like documentaries about fast fashion that you've seen recently or things like that. Horoscopes, games, you know, the kind of like fun girly stuff that is always in Material Girls. So excited to put this out into the world. It's always free to download. That's something that I'm really proud of and prioritize. So that's Q1. I'm very excited to start working on Q2, which is also like a really cool feeling because I don't know, I did a few things differently about like this process of putting this magazine together. Like I expanded my timelines a little bit, and I think I was just working on it more sustainably. Usually when I do a magazine, I feel like things end up coming like up to the wire and I'm a little bit stressed at the end, and it makes me feel like I want to take a break before I get back into the next one. But this time I maintained a chill vibe about me, and it turned out great, and I really enjoyed the process of making it, and it makes me excited to get into the next one. So all good things. As usual, ending with a little book recommendation. This one is another one from Common Threads Press, the publisher that puts out these great zines that are all about craft, specifically craft history, craft resistance. This one is called Stitching the Intifada, Embroidery and Resistance in Palestine. It's by Rachel Dedman, and it's all about Palestinian form of embroidery called tatrees. There are beautiful pictures throughout. Lots of the embroidery, as well as some like historical photographs of people wearing the embroidery to kind of show like how this has existed in Palestinian culture throughout history. It covers a lot of different things. It talks about the different areas of Palestine and what different forms of embroidery are common there. This is the history of how this specific type of embroidery became kind of like the symbol of Palestine, especially how embroidery and people wearing the embroidery became a form of public resistance. Women would embroider symbols of resistance into the dresses that they were wearing. Tatrees has become a really recognizable symbol of Palestine and also also a very politicized art form. Near the end, it also gives some examples of like modern art. Near the end, it gives some examples of how modern artists are incorporating tattoos into their art as well to reflect on Palestinian heritage. There's also some interesting discussion here about the economic implications of embroidery, because as we hear with a lot of craft practices across cultures, sometimes this becomes something that is an economic opportunity for women. When you have a skill like this, you're able to sell pieces. And so it talks a bit about the nuances there of this being like a source of pride, of an opportunity for women to provide for their families, and also the fact that most organizations that are coordinating and selling handmade embroidery, even if they're paying people ethically, are not really paying them enough to like actually have any sort of financial freedom. So definitely recommend this. I have added it to my shelf of I think nearly 10 books from Common Threads Press. So I'll link their whole website down below because there are things on loads of different interesting topics. But for now, my other recommendation, of course, is to read the latest issue of Material Girls. I believe it is coming out the day this video comes out, so I'll link all that down below. Excited to put another issue out there, and always fun to kind of share behind the scenes of what it's like getting it all together on this channel. Please subscribe to see more about my life as an artist here in London, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.